Alright, how you doing, everybody? Good to see you again. Hope you enjoy the new spot and just felt like changing it up a bit. Doing a video from here for once. This is the living room in the place. We're going to be listening to... Oh my... Fuck, this album has been blowing my mind. This, I guess I would pronounce this band as Poyast, which kind of makes it sound like it's a Latin band or a Mexican band or something like that, but this band is actually not. The drummer and the guitar player are from Germany, the bass player is from Finland, and the singer is from Quebec, Canada, and the singer is actually Eric from the band called Thessire. But ever since last weekend, I played that Odal album on my video. I just really got into like Germanic pagan black metal bands, and so that's what I've been listening to mainly, and that's how I discovered this. Someone from Odal played on this band's debut demo, I want to say. So I've been listening to this fucking non-stop since I got it. Oh my god, I can't get enough of this fucking record. So it's kind of like a tribute to Bathory's Blood on Ice, style-wise. There's nothing like explicitly stating that or anything, but you can just hear this. It's just sounds like utter Bathory fucking worship. It's just so fucking good. The guitars really remind me quite a bit of the era of Immortal that I don't like, and it's kind of made me think of like have a different appreciation for that style. So I'm kind of thinking about going back and listening to At the Heart of Winter again. That's like the best of the worst Immortal albums for me. Anyway, I know you're all gonna catch hell. I'm gonna catch hell for this, but yeah. So we're listening to this on MP3 on my television, but this is the LP. Anyway, so I found this fucking thing on Amazon Prime for $8 fucking dollars. So thanks to the fucking metal detector. Sadly, it's no longer available for $8 from Amazon Prime. In fact, I went to buy, I bought my copy of it, had it shipped, and I was like, oh, shit. So then I went to buy Marty Worm a copy of it. I was like, shit, $8? I'll buy Marty a fucking LP any day. Is $8, man. And I went to look at it like 3 minutes later, and it had jumped up to $38. And I was like, I can't really afford that right now, because I've been spending kind of a stupid amount of money on my birthday, which was 2 days ago. I bought myself a hella stupid pile of black metal. I feel real stupid about it, but I can't wait to get all these fucking records in. I just found a bunch of stuff for good deals. And so, yeah. So what we're doing today, anyway, I wanted to wrap up my tape series, I guess. Not that it was much of a series. I just went through and I found 10, and I did video number 1, and I've got another 10 videos. And I think that's really, like, if I went any further than these 20 tapes, that would be scraping the bottom of the barrel, some really boring stuff. I've got some real underground tapes here that I guess a lot of, like, it's one of those things where, like, when I talk about this band, you're going to be like, oh, shit, I haven't thought about that band in so long. But the bands that I'm going to have tapes of aren't going to appeal to a lot of you guys any day. So, yeah, let's get started, I guess. Let's start here. Oh, I forgot to look this up before I did the video. So this is a bootleg of Emperor's tour, their first American tour, I want to say. It was after they did the 9 Equilibrium album, I guess. And I sadly missed this tour. Just a blank cassette. Obviously, it's a fucking bootleg. I missed this tour, even though I did see Emperor's first United States appearance. Now, there's really nothing to look at. Anyway, this is the story about this tape that I'm showing this for. I missed that tour. I was really pissed about it. I could have seen fucking Borknagar with Simon Hesnays on vocals on that tour, which would have been amazing. It was just like, I was probably 20 at the time, and the idea of driving to Chicago and figuring out how to, like, go to a show in the big city when I was that young was a really hard thing to fathom, honestly. But I did, like I said, I saw them in Milwaukee at Metal Fest 98, so it wasn't like, no, I had my cherry popped in 98, I guess, if you would put it that way. So I bought this tape from a guy I want to say I was wearing like an Immortal shirt at Metal Fest 2000. This was recorded in '99. Metal Fest 2000. This guy comes up to me, and we start talking, and he's telling me, he's like, "Hey, I got this Emperor bootleg if you want it." I gave him a couple of bucks for it, and I got to talking to him. We just sat down and we started talking. It turns out he was in that band Manticore, and I have a couple of their albums. Let me look this up here. I know the guy from Manticore, this guy who I'm talking about who sold me this tape, is now doing some band that other people have been talking about, but I don't think I've heard yet. Obviously, I'm on fucking Metal Archives, the most essential metal companion website there is. What is this band? It's gonna fucking drive me nuts. Okay, never mind. I'm getting off topic anyway. I don't see what I'm thinking of. Anyway, the guy who recorded this was in Manticore, and this tape, this is a really good recording of an Emperor set from Ohio, I want to say. It actually doesn't say where it was recorded, which is kind of funny. Usually you have that on a live recording. Anyways, I'm a big fan of Emperor, and back then I was even more so than I am now. That tape didn't leave my car for a couple of years, I would say. Anyway, next tape. So this is Niantial, Cavern of the Skeletal Spirits. This is put out on Death Angle Absolution Records, formerly known as Satanic Skinhead Propaganda. Anyways, this is a really good demo from a band that I'm surprised people aren't talking more about. However, the fact that they haven't released anything more than this demo is kind of sad. This is a really promising demo, and I went and saw them live in Chicago a couple of years ago. This is hand-numbered, limited to 160 copies. Anyway, not a whole lot to look at art-wise, but this band is it's a solo project from Virginia, I want to say, maybe North Carolina. I get all those states mixed up on the lower East Coast. Anyway, killer atmospheric, just really necrotic sort of black metal, and they played a live set in Chicago a couple years ago with Mare from Norway, or Mare. I talked about the show a couple of videos ago. It was like Sort de Leger, Chiete, which is also a Quebecois black metal band. Anyway, yeah, good demo, Niantial, check that out. And this tape is just busted up. So this is another tape, this was in my car for so many years, just rattling around in the back seat, passengers fucking stomping on it and shit. I should have probably taken better care of it, but this fucking record is amazing. And surprisingly, for this being such an underground death metal classic, by the way, it's Morgue Eroded Thoughts. This is on Grindcore Records, and Olympic Recordings. And I want to say this came out in maybe 94. I don't know, but this is just killer American fucking death metal. You really know what you're getting based on this fucking band photo. This was reissued on Repulsive Echo a couple, was it last year? Maybe 2 years ago or something. But this is a killer American death metal record. I highly recommend you check this out. It's kind of technical. It's super memorable. It's slightly melodic too. I want to say this is kind of an early album that shows what death metal would turn into in the later 90s, being a little bit more melodic, a little bit more technical, but it's just a perfect fusing of all those elements without being too anything. It's just right dead center. Super good record. I highly recommend you check that out. They're a Chicago band, I want to say. Yeah, I've had this for fucking years. Love this record. I have it on CD too. But like I was saying, it's kind of weird that this was one of the first death metal albums that I really got into, and it's not one of the classics like most people talk about, your Cannibal Corpses, your Deaths, Obituary, shit like that. Morgue Eroded Thoughts was one of my death metal staples early on. So next I've got, I think the band is actually called Hannes Siste Host. I'm assuming it's a Norwegian thing. The tape is kind of starting to turn yellow. Anyway, one side is printed, the other is not, and for some reason the plastic is turning yellow on me. I don't know. This is super limited as far as I know. The label that put it out is actually a friend of mine, local here in Iowa. Ia, Lord of the Tapes, is the label that put this out. I don't think he's still putting out tapes. This came out a couple of years ago, maybe 8-10 years ago. But the CD version came out on Init Records. So this is a black metal band from Fargo, North Dakota, if I'm not mistaken. And this is a really good album. I wish more people would talk about it. I fucking found the CD in like a cutout bin for $1 not too long ago, and I was just like, man, I'm really bummed about how underappreciated this record is. They only went on to do, I think there was like a demo before this, or maybe this is the only album, but if you like Enslaved, I would definitely recommend this. It's kind of along those lines. But it also, in a way, strangely enough, it has sort of like a post-rock sort of style to it. And this was originally recorded, boy, I'm really grasping here. This came out, I want to say, originally in like 2002 or 3, so it was way before the advent of like post-rock really sinking its teeth into black metal like it has in the last few years. So it's kind of interesting to hear that melding of styles, sort of a post-rock influence with like more Nordic black metal bands. But it's super good. I really like the recording on it. The songwriting is just top fucking notch. It's kind of technical. From what I've heard, though, the guy that did this band, his name was like Mike Zander or something. Zander Ness. No, Mike Zander. I don't know where I'm coming up with that name, but never mind. Zander Ness. He went on to be like a techno DJ after he did this, strangely enough. Have some morning coffee. Alright, next up, this is another Midwest black metal band that I bet not many of you have heard of, but if you know this demo, fuck. This demo is fucking crucial. So this is a band called The Cold Beyond, who have just recently become active again, and I want to say they are out of Milwaukee, and I think this has now been reissued as bonus tracks on some release that they did recently as a newly active again band. So, not much to look at here, but this is just fucking cold, icy, grim fucking black metal. The production on this is just so fucking raw and great. I'll be surprised if I can actually find a sample for you to hear this, but I will definitely try, as with all of these, and as always, to try and find a sample of this that you can listen to down below in the description. But yeah, so the band was formerly known as Dead by Morning. I picked this up on eBay at the suggestion of my buddy Wayne. He was like, you gotta get this, the blast beats are so fucking icy cold. It's kind of like Hyperspeed Immortal, I guess. Let's see. Next, let's talk about a really important album in my life. I guess I could have maybe talked about this when I said like most meaningful albums in a couple of videos ago, but honestly, like, this one is a little bit newer than all the ones that I talked about in that video, so I wouldn't say I could really say it's stuck with me all that much. But this is a band that I wish more people talked about back in their heyday. It seemed like they were so fucking promising. Things just kind of haven't come together like I guess I thought they were going to. This band is called Skagos. This is their debut full length, I want to say. And I think, even though it doesn't say on here anywhere, the Eternal Warfare put this out. Again, not much to look at. I guess I don't have any pretty fucking cassettes. I'm sorry, this riff. Just killing me. Sorry. You gotta check this fucking Poyas record out. Oh, it's so good. So yeah, Skagos is asked. So this really took me by surprise. It was like a post-rock kind of influenced black metal band. I picked this up for a couple of bucks through mail order, and man, when I first got that thing, I didn't stop listening to it for months, maybe 6 to 8 months. It was so just memorable. The songwriting is just so sincere and memorable, intricate, it's dynamic as fuck. The songwriting is just so powerful on it. I guess what really happened with the band is they never quite got the release that it deserved when the attention for the band was building. This tape came out, it sold out through Maternal Warfare like right away, and then it wasn't until like 2 years later, I want to say, that the CD was released, and I can't even think of the label that released it on CD anyways. And then like a couple of years after that, by then the band had like, I think, broken up for the first or second time or something. It came out on LP on Passanta Urfolk, and I think I want to say Passanta just had the LP version on sale recently. You might check and see if it still is anyway. But yeah, killer fucking record. Their follow-up to the record was really good too. They also did a split with Panopticon. So yeah, I really love Skagos. This record, I honestly, like, every note to that record is just like deeply sunk into my being. I know every single second of that record. It's just so great how they build up the tension in the song and just wash with memorable melodic songwriting. And from what I understand at the time, these guys were in high school when they recorded this record. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe they were like fresh out of high school, but yeah, that's what I heard about that band, and I was just so impressed by the songwriting. And yeah, like I said, it was like the advent of post-rock getting into black metal style at that time. So now for something completely different. This is a really weird packaging. I love this. So this is a band, they were friends of mine, called Erasmus. When I was getting into metal, these guys were some of my best friends. We used to just smoke pot and listen to Abigor together. Yeah, this thing has seen better days. But I just love the package on this thing, how it like slides out like that. I think guys should be like doing tapes that come in packages like this these days. Anyway, it didn't really work well for the paper on here. But anyway, so this is Alpha Demo 99, an encroachment in retrospect. So what this was basically like rehearsal demo to send out to interested potential labels and bands, just to kind of gain attention and see if they can find a label to release what would then be their next album. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs on it, and they're pretty lengthy songs. Really forward thinking for the time in 1999. I guess these songs were written in like 97 and 98. God, you can barely even see. I did the photography on this on this picture, and then here was one of my first photography gigs, if you will. But yeah, the songwriting is really intricate and crazy. I can't remember. Yeah, this does have vocals. Really vocally interesting. The styles is just really varied, and for like a two-piece band from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, using 0 post-production, if I remember correctly, they really came out with a really diverse, interesting, unique, and forward-thinking demo. And this stayed in my car for a very, very, very long time. This is another one of those things where when I put it on, it just plugs into that way back 15-year-old memory of how intricate and special this demo was. So yeah, I doubt any of you are gonna know this band at all, but I think this is on Bandcamp. I want to say I ripped it a couple of years ago. They went on to do a full-length album after this that never really had an official release. In fact, I don't think there's like a physical copy release of the album that came out after this, but it is too also very, very interesting. I miss hanging out with those guys, and I miss that band. So next, another Midwest death metal band. I want to say this band was from Illinois also. This is Demented Ted. Now, I never thought, if you told me that you were in a band called Demented Ted, I would think that you were like fucking punk ska or something. I don't know the story behind the name of this fucking band, but this is a really cool Midwest death metal band. This demo tape, was it a demo? I guess I don't know. It's called Despair, and it was recorded by Scott Burns of Morrisound in 1992. Little band photo there. The album cover, all black. I don't know what they were fucking thinking. So yeah, I don't know if this is like a proper album or just a demo or what. But again, kind of like the Morgue Eroded Thoughts, this is forward-thinking Midwest death metal from 1992. It's not really all that typical of the style of the time, but you don't hear about this band really ever. I don't think they really went on to have much success. I do have their follow-up to this on CD, and I think Pavement put it out in like 93, 94. But I picked this up for 50 cents at a garage sale. I just kind of felt like pumping the Midwest death metal through that. So next, let's see, this is Cult of Death. This is one of my favorite black metal bands. A band that I can't pump enough. I can't talk enough about this band. They're so sadly underrated. So this was put out by In Coffin Productions. In Coffin is a label out of Singapore, I want to say. And what they do, it seems, is they just get licensing rights from labels to do a lot of pretty big name albums. Thailand, yeah, that's it. They just do cassette licensing for a lot of big name black metal. And so I think it's kind of cool to have this. I think I have it on CD and LP. Unfolds into a tape. But yeah, this is just like killer, straightforward Chicago black metal. I would say it's quite a bit like, I guess, Dark Throne. Nothing all that original. Just the songwriting is so excellent that I wind up listening to these guys quite a bit when I can't really think of what kind of black metal I want to listen to. It's just fucking meat and potatoes, aggressive, atmospheric, a little bit. I guess it's more just like raw and necrotic sort of black metal than atmospheric, but yeah. There we go. That's Cult of Death. I've got like 3 of their CDs, and then Nuclear War Now put out this, and I want to say like all their stuff on a double LP a couple of years ago. Killer band. Next, I grabbed this for you, Eric. This is In Coffin Nation. I should show the cover first, sorry. This is In Coffin Nation's... shit, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever listened to this. Ritual Ascension Beyond Flesh. This was sent to me by the drummer of the band, Wayne, who I talk about quite a bit. Let's see here. It's hard to read because it's on like a green cassette. And it's printed. I don't know if you can see that in the light. But yeah, he sent me this. Funny story, I bought a fucking blender from Wayne. It was a Ninja 2000 blender. He bought it from some discount store in San Diego, and he sent me the blender, and I sent him the money for it, and he sent me a bunch of stuff along with this. And yeah, this is like the doomiest, sludgiest, slowest funeral doom band you'll ever fucking hear. I really like this band, but I kind of feel like they're beating a dead horse. But really, who isn't in funeral doom anyways? This also features Justin Bartlett from... Father Befouled. I got my names mixed up there. So yeah, this is In Coffin Nation. Who put this out? Offering 01? I've never really dug into this. In fact, I don't even remember knowing that this is on a green cassette from what I can tell. Justin Stubbs, I'm sorry. I said Justin Bartlett? Who is Justin Bartlett? Is that... Okay, I know who Justin Bartlett is. He does the artwork for all the bands and stuff. Uber Cult. Anyway, yeah, layout by Justin Stubbs. God, I hope you're not watching this, Stubbs. You're gonna fucking slaughter me. Anyway, yeah, so In Coffin Nation, Ritual Ascension Beyond the Flesh, cassette, and that does it. That's 10 albums. I feel like I'm missing something, but I do this every fucking video. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Keep an eye out. This weekend, I'm going to have another special guest. All right, have a good rest of your week. Have a good weekend. Have a good everything. And